it's okay to feel whatever you feel. Just like it's okay to be whoever you are, and just like it's okay to like whatever food you like. If you feel something, feel it fully. There's no reason to hide your emotions, especially not from yourself. And even if you try to hide it, it's not going to make it go away. You'll still feel what you feel. So often do we try to hide our emotions or try to push them away because we don't think they're acceptable right now. Maybe we feel angry about something and we shouldn't feel angry about that, so we try to justify why we're not angry, or we feel sad about something, or we don't allow ourselves to feel sad because we're in a situation where it's not okay to be sad. Or maybe even we want something, we feel like we want this one thing, and then we justify why we don't actually want it. And that's just stupid, because the feeling is still there, the emotion is still present. It's not going to go away by any form of logic, or by you trying to deny it, or by you lying to yourself or other people for that matter. The only thing it does is that it makes you feel worse inside. If you love something, if you want to do something, if you hate something, if you find something really sad, if you are afraid of something, that's something that comes from within you, and it has all the right in the world to be there. It's your emotion, it's what you want to do, it's your feelings. Those are real. They're as real as it gets. It's like, if you love olives, you love olives. No one will deny that. You just like the foods you like for whatever reason. No one needed to justify that before. You just like the way it tastes. In the same way, you are emotional about certain things. But if you try to deny it, it's like you try denying that you like olives. I mean, you can deny it by any means you want, but they will still taste good to you. And different people have different things. For example, I don't like olives, and I'll probably be sad about other things than you will be, or I'll be angry about other things that you will be, and I want other things than you want, and I like other things that you like, and that's totally okay. No one's any better or worse because they like or hate or are sad of certain things. But the most important thing is that you allow yourself to feel these things, and that you allow yourself to fully feel them. Because the emotion won't go away. And if you love olives, if you love a certain food, and if you really enjoy that food, you're going to get a lot more out of it. The same way, when there's an emotion, if you're sad for some reason, and if you really feel that sadness, then you find out maybe why you feel that sadness, and you can deal with it better next time, or you can avoid it altogether. In the same way, when you really want something, when you really like something, and you really allow yourself to feel that joy, to feel that happiness, to feel that desire of that thing, you kind of find out more about yourself too. But more important than even that is that you learn to love yourself more. You learn to be more proud of yourself, because you become your own best friend. You become a person that looks yourself in the eyes and says, you know what? I like you anyway. With all the hate, with all the sadness, with all the anger, with all the fear, with all the joy, with everything about you, I still accept you for who you are. And that's powerful. If you treat yourself like that, you gain the huge ally. But if you keep treating yourself like you might treat yourself now, if you never accept your emotions for what they are, it's like you have a friend that never accepts you. Oh, you feel angry? Well, you shouldn't feel angry. Oh, you feel sad? Well, you're not allowed to feel sad. Oh, that makes you happy? Why the hell does that make you happy? That can't make you happy. Don't feel happy about that. That's not a friend. And the problem is that whether friend or foe, you have to spend 24 hours a day with yourself. So you might as well start becoming friends with yourself, because that will be an ally to you. And not a guy or girl you have to fight at every step along the way. When you have these emotions, just handle them, because they're real. And then handle them for what they really are, because that brings you in control of them. When you allow yourself to feel what you feel, you gain more control of it, because you figure out where that emotion is coming from. And then it's up to you to exert that control or not. But exert it on the reality of things. We often feel a certain way and can't quite pinpoint why. And that's why we need to feel it more, so that we get more of an insight into it, and then can pinpoint it, so then we can change whatever we pinpointed it to. Let's say, for example, angry at your partner for not listening to you, and you're angry and angry and angry at them, and you fight and you get into an argument. Maybe it's not because they didn't listen to you. Maybe it's because they were active themselves and they made you feel less powerful, and you had a really shitty time recently, so you needed them to support you, and so that you needed them to support you to feel better yourself. You needed their support. It wasn't about whether they listened to you or not. It was about something deeper inside. But you're never going to know what that is unless you allow yourself to really feel what you feel, unless you give it free rein. Now that's not to say you need to hurt everyone you see, and if you need to cry a river in a public place, do it within reason. If you don't feel comfortable somewhere, then go back home and then cry. Or punch a pillow. Do something that you feel, do something where you feel you can let go. But let go. If you can't let go wherever you are, pick a time and place, and then let go there. Focus back on why you felt that way. Get into the emotion. Because your emotions are a response to something that happens outside of you. Something that happens in the outside world. And if you didn't deal with the emotion, that doesn't mean you didn't deal with the response. The response will come again. This is just a response. As soon as that trigger presents itself again, you'll feel the same way. Unless you deal with that chain of events. Unless you figure out what is the trigger. What does this trigger cause? And what emotion do I get at the end of it? And then you interact with that in a certain way. That's when you can really change things. That's when you become less angry, when you become less sad, when you change the core of these things. But again, you have to feel it. You have to allow yourself to be sad, be angry, be happy, and be all sorts of emotions, whatever else there is. You have to really feel it. These emotions are real. And then deal with the reality of things so that you can take more control over it. That you can actively choose what to feel. Because once you know what the triggers are, you can force more triggers in your life if you want them to be there. You can force more triggers that make you angry, force more happy triggers, force more sad triggers, whatever you want. It's within your control. Just like it is for you to control what you eat. It's in your control what you feel. But you have to figure out first how your body works, what your body likes, what emotions your body has in response to certain events. And then you can have those events more often in your life. So I guess the main point here in this video is, number one, it's okay to feel. It's totally natural. Don't run away from that. You can hide it from other people if you want to, but don't hide it from yourself. You want to become your own best friend, not your own worst enemy. And the second thing is that if you want to feel a different way, you can. You have that power, but you have to exert it, and you have to find out the way you're processing. You have to find out what makes you tick, what triggers you, and then deal with that. Get more of it, get less of it, or change your whole belief surrounding this trigger so that it doesn't create the same response anymore. And when you do all of these things, it becomes more easy to live. You won't get upset that you felt a certain way. You won't hate yourself for anything. Instead, you'll just allow yourself to feel that way. You'll be more angry, but you'll also be happier. When things come, you'll actively try to change the things that you don't like, and you try to actively get more of what you want. And over the time, at least for most people, they'll have less of the negative emotions and more of the positive ones, while having more extreme emotions, which in the end makes them just be more happy more often. And I think that's something worth working towards.